Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Song of Saya, aka I'm not sure what's the appropriate wording of the title. Saya no Uda, the Song of Saya. Now, I don't think YouTube or anyone requested me to read the visual novel. As far as I remember, one of my acquaintances that goes by Wagkubu, when it comes to visual novels, would request the hell out. I wouldn't say he would request the hell out of me, but he wanted me to actually read the visual novel because he was telling me like it's supposed to like disturb me in the way. Although I've seen glimpses of it on YouTube before, and it was pretty unhinged per se, but although I've seen worse when it comes to like shock content in a way. Yeah, I love it how I love the little, this blinking like the flashes of the uncanny valley. So I configured all the options. I don't know how any of these options work. I had sound volume turned up a bit. I feel like the desktop audio is a bit, yeah, let's put it a little higher. Because the weird part about it is like I put it on full screen. Luckily it's full screen windowed, but anytime I do this, yeah, it just, because this is usually like the right appropriate resolution for it, but if I try to like widen it out, because this is the monitor resolution for OBS, so now it's like this, so let me know how that one goes. So I'm gonna apply the options right here. But yeah, no, consider this to be the blind read-through of Saya no Uda, because I don't know how any of these would turn out. And this is the director's cut of the visual novel too. As far as I remember, the Steam version is the censor version, so people have to like buy it and then patch things out. So monitor settings, hardware method. Oh, okay, so right, so that's the thing, right? So hardware method, if I do like monitor settings, it's gonna do that. So if I do something like this, then I'm pretty sure with hardware methods it might stretch it out maybe. I mean, it's perfect as is, so we'll see how that goes. All right, I think it's been like 3 minutes in. Let's give this a read. This story is a work of fiction. The procedures and conditions described herein are imaginary, do not reflect whichever. I didn't even give me the chance to read that. This work of fiction contains grotesque images that may disturb some viewers. Please select how you would like such images displayed. I mean, considering that I'm doing like multi-platform streaming, so most of the time, like if I'm not going to be streaming on most of the times visual novel readings have to be like off schedule per se. So all right, so it just basically just gives you the options. So if you really want to like automatically censor the images, then you can choose the one of the three options down here. I'm gonna put do not modify, because if anything, like I don't know how grotesque it'll be just to be put on YouTube. I think the most is like corn material, so we'll see how bad it'll be. The wriggling mass of flesh burbles can okay, maybe I do need to turn down the music volume of this, and sound volume right here, and voice. I didn't expect this to be actually loud for the audio, because I do not want this to drown out on my end. So let's see. So I don't know what's going on right here. I feel like we're reaching like Silent Hill volumes of this. Yeah, I don't even know if this is like Morse code per se, but I'm pretty sure like depending on how the monstrosity of the translation. Okay, let me do... Okay, let me just fix the config on the volume. I'm sorry. Is this system sound volume? Yeah, I'm not really sure. So we just do something like that, honestly. Close that. 3 such creatures sit around the table in front of me, slurping filthy sludge from their cups as they trade whines, growls, and sounds that I cannot describe. You know, judging by the grotesque moment right here, it feels like some sort of a, you know, Cthulhu-like shit going on. Okay, well, it says red, so I don't know what it means by that, but maybe there is some sort of, you know, meaning behind it. Oh my goodness. This is definitely Silent Hill. By listening carefully, I am able to grasp the gist of their conversation and respond when it is required of me. This is necessary to avoid arousing their suspicion. So, can I... Okay, well... Config. Is it voice? Maybe I can do something like that? Yeah. Maybe we'll try that. Because I did not know a grotesque moment like this can cause the volume to, like, reach peak levels. Apply changes, yes. Alright. Oh yeah, no, this is like... I feel like the room is nothing more than a living human organ or grotesque organ of the sort. Because whatever it is, it's definitely breeding something. However, these creatures look... They are my friends, apparently. I wish that I could still deny it, but I gave up on that a long time ago. Night after night, I went to sleep praying for an end of this nightmare, only to wake each morning to the same twisted hellscape as the day before. I know now that I have to blend in, that I have to act like one of them. Such has been my life these past 3 months, and so it will remain until the day I die. So, I'm going to assume that the guy's face is supposedly the main character. I wonder if the main character is like some sort of like a translator to with all this monstrosity going on. Yeah, no, I can't tell by the monstrosity of the sort whether or not it's like an error, but I'm pretty sure the text is fine. I'm pretty sure there is a meaning behind this. Judging by his tone, this one must be Koji, and the one next to him, squealing more than the others, is probably Omi, which means that the one next to me is Yo. Though, I can no longer see any trace of her once attractive features. I try my best to ignore the rotten stench of excrement that issues from her quivering flesh. Well, from the wording right here, it looks like it says the word fuck with the FMCK, and then one of it is like grrr, it's like gargling something. It's like, well, there's if, and then what if. I don't know if it's meant to like figure out what they're trying to say, but I'm pretty sure it'll tell you later on. Everything has changed, or almost everything, by some cruel trick of fate. My relationship to the world alone remains the same, as if an insane architect took the blueprints of my life and rebuilt it out of blood and gore. These monsters and I were part of the same college club. We studied together, ate together. We even went skiing together every winter break. Now these are but painful memories of days that will never return. If only no one recognized me, I might have been able to disconnect myself from the world. It would have been comforting, in comparison, to believe that I had been abducted by aliens, or that I had stumbled through a gateway to hell. But no, this is beyond a doubt the city where I was born and raised, the society that I was part of for 20 years, save that I, and I alone, can no longer see it that way. The world as I knew it is gone. I have no place to call home. I assume this is supposedly the college cafeteria of the sort, but now it's all like quote unquote Silent Hillified. Because it kind of reminds me of the game called Silent Hill 4: The Room, where the character has the ability to enter, the dream world, or like the nightmarish mode, or whatever you could call it. Anyway, I can tell that whatever they're discussing is of no importance to me. I decide to keep quiet while pretending to listen. But just then, one of the flesh beasts, Hei Fuminori, one of the flesh beasts says as it swivels its bloodshot eyes towards me, "What do you think?" Okay, so the flesh beast actually says something that we can. Because earlier it was like a bunch of garbling nonsense. I tried desperately to suppress my loathing and behave normally, but my hoarse voice ruins the attempt. This year's ski trip, a slimy hole near the top of the creature writhes nauseatingly as it vomits some semblance of words. That must be Koji's face, or what I would have seen as such 3 months ago. Unable to stomach the sight of it, I avert my eyes and give a neutral answer. Yeah, I feel like the sound effect is causing to, let me see if I put it right here. Let me see. These were my closest companions. One of them had even wished to be more. How many nights have I spent crying in loneliness, lamenting the friends who no longer exist? Yeah, so I can't even. I feel like the voices have been drowning out, so I might as well just crank it up right here. I mean, part one might as well be called figuring out settings simulator. Okay, close that out. In 3 months, my tears ran dry, and now there is only loathing left in me. Surrounded by hideous creatures that I can only assume are Koji, Omi, and Yo. I spend each day trying to act as I always have. If I fail at this, I'll surely be sent back to the hospital. Only this time, I'll be locked away forever. No matter what, I won't let that happen. Okay, well that time I can actually hear the voices somewhat. That's it. I can't look at them or bear their screeching any longer. I jump to my feet, desperate to escape. A spray of stringy slime from the cilia, however you can pronounce it, around its voice box flies at me. I try to cover myself, but too late to keep the slime from splattering across my face like the yolk of a rotten egg. I'm about to lose it. I want to grab a chair, a desk, anything within reach, and use it to smash the life out of this creature, ending it all. I barely suppress the impulse. I mustn't let on that something is wrong. However, they look to me. This is their world. I'm the outsider here. So if I click, so it's C to config. So I don't know. Something like that maybe? Yeah.
だから今日も診療なんだ。もう時間だから。
Well, he's got to go. Struggling to put on a smile, I reach into my wallet, pull out the first bill I find, and put it on the table without even looking at it. I don't care about the change. I just need to get out of here now.
それじゃ。
Later, I mutter hastily and flee the cafeteria. Okay, so it is the cafeteria of some college. I'm not crazy.
ねえねえ、今度のスキーだけどさ、今年はどっかスケートも遊べるところにしない？
So Takahata Omi. So I'm gonna assume the 3 names mentioned are supposed to be, his friends, from what I recall. Tsukuba Yo frowns at the suggestion.
スケート？わざわざスキー場にまで行ってスケート？
勘弁してやってくれよ、つくば。こいつ今そっちにハマってんだ。
Tono Koji supports Omi with a laugh. Her impromptu suggestions are nothing new, and it's Koji's role as her boyfriend to provide backup. They're a good match for each other, Yo thinks. Sometimes it makes her jealous.
なんせオウミってさ、この前この年になって初めてスケートやったんだ。
You know, I actually love the music for this. It does sound pretty peaceful.
何よ。スケートしたことなかったのがそんなに不思議？
I mean, when it comes to like the soundtrack for visual novels, like I mean, I like this one. Like Umineko, for example, had like a soundtrack where it has like, you know, a range of music involved. Although most of the time I listen to dance music. So, is it really that strange?
20歳になって初体験ってのは興味そうそういないんじゃないかな。
子供の頃はなんとなく怖かったのよ。あの靴、なんだか刃物みたいでさ。
Those shoes look like big knives. I mean, if you're talking about shoes that has if you're talking about skate shoes that has like blades on it, then you're talking about ice skating.
でもいきなりやって滑れたの？オウミちゃんすごくない？
容量はスキーとそう変わるもんじゃないからな。重心を前に出して靴の前のヘリでコントロールする感覚とか。
コウジにそう言われたもんだからさ、騙されたと思ってやってみたわけよ。そうしたらもう楽しくって。
So it was a date. Yo feels a stab of envy. Hang on a moment. If I go through the config menu when it comes to voice
そ
playback.
れは世界を犯す恋。
Oh, god damn it.
さやの歌。
Oh, it's not gonna give me the list of characters that has like, you know, to test around when it comes to voices. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright. So I'm assuming the disappointed look on her face is Yo, which is the short brown-haired girl. I could be wrong though, because, you know, because the only time I know is like the main character with the black. I'm assuming the main character is the one with like the, you know, the gloomy face and the black-haired. So Koji and Omi enjoy their time together as normal lovers do. That's certainly not something that should make her jealous. It's just that her luck in love has been bad. I mean, again, you know, like.
私も見てみたいな。オウミちゃんがスケートやるところ。
I mean, the luck in love is, you know, should be is going to be like saved for a different topic, but oh well. Yo keeps her voice upbeat, trying to cover up her disquiet. You know, because from what I recall, like this visual novel was made from the early 2000s. So I feel like, well, judging by graphics wise, well, minus the weird, grotesque prologue, you know, it does have a little bit of a. Well, the thing is, like, the visual novels, whoever is the same dev, the Nitro Plus, this was the same one that also did Steins Gate and Phenomeno. And Phenomeno as in, like, another horror visual novel that is only, like, adapts up to, like, the first volume. So it is pretty interesting. I haven't played Steins Gate before, but I believe that's on my list. If I feel like it, that is. She knows that it's wrong to envy her friends. She too would be spending time with the man she admires, if not for the terrible tragedy that befell him. His is true misfortune, her bad luck, quote unquote, does it begin to compare.
だからさ、ね、今度のスキー旅行、ついでにスケート旅行にしちゃえば2倍美味しく楽しいってわけよ。
でもさ、スケートはスケートリンクに行けばできるじゃない。わざわざスキー場に行ってまでやる？
だから屋内じゃなくてさ、屋外スケート、凍った湖とかで滑れるところ。
そんな都合のいいとこあるかな。なんだかすっごく混んでそう。
While speaking, Yo sneaks a sideways glance at the young man sitting next to her. Although the conversation has involved only 3 people so far, there are in fact 2 couples at the cafeteria table. Yo's boyfriend, though there's still some doubt over whether he could be called that, is beside her, as silent and expressionless as a statue.
なあ、文則。お前はどう思う？
Fuminori. Perhaps Koji sensed Yo's pain in his usual quiet and considerate way.
どうって。
About what? The cause of Yo's distress. Sakisaka Fuminori responds to Koji's sudden query with a vague, mumbled question of his own. Okay, so Fuminori... So, from what I recall, Fuminori is the main character, and then he's sitting with 3 other people. So it's Koji, Yo... What is it? Let me see here. Koji, Omi, and Yo. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, it takes me a while to, remember the characters per se. It's not like Umineko where it just you sit there for like 10 years reading the whole fucking thing. Mumbled question of his own.
いや、だからさ、今年の冬のスキーだよ。お前も行くよな。
Koji speaks gingerly, as though probing a tumor. A few months ago, he would not have hesitated to rebuke Fuminori for his attitude. Their long acquaintance had forged a strong and honest friendship. But now...
わからない。
I don't know. Fuminori responds bluntly, his downcast eyes and sullen demeanor making it clear that he has no desire to break his silence.
何か他の予定でもあるのか？
いや、別に。
I don't have any plans. Even Koji, Fuminori's best friend, cannot communicate with him as before. What hope does Yo have of breaking through his shell? The scars left by the events of that late summer day are still deep all these months later. Each one of the 4 bears them, not only Fuminori.
なあ、別に運動するのが傷に触るとかそういうわけでもないんだろ？
どうだろうな。今日の診療で先生に聞いてみる。
As though that answer drained the last of his patience, Fuminori bolts out of his chair. Oh.
おい、文則。
Well, that escalated quickly, did it? I always judge like characters like straight away, but normally it's the whole don't judge the book by its cover. But I'm gonna make a guess. I always thought, judging from from Fuminori's character, he comes off as like a nihilist of the sort, like a jaded. I I don't know if edgy would be a right description, would be the good guess for when it comes to accuracy of description per se, but I guess being jaded could be fair, I guess. Even Koji can't keep his voice from rising as he tries to stop Fuminori from leaving. Fuminori reacts swiftly, throwing his hand over his face as though to shield himself from something terrifying. Maybe some spit flew inadvertently from Koji's mouth, but that happens sometimes. Fuminori's reaction is beyond the pale.
だから今日も診療なんだ。もう時間だから。
Even as he tosses money on the table to pay for his coffee, he acts like he's touching something filthy.
それじゃあ。
Fuminori stalks out of the cafeteria, almost as if he's running away. Huh. That's interesting. So this is what the conversation be like at the cafeteria, because this is just a normal cafeteria. But in the prologue, the cafeteria is all like Silent Hill for the Roomish type of thing, all nightmarish and all. So am I peering into like Fuminori's perspective? Because a lot of the times when it comes to a normal conversation, maybe Fuminori is clouded by something like this. Because again, like I don't know what is causing Fuminori to act that way, but we'll see. Cloaked in heavy silence, the remaining three lower their gaze to the table where the abandoned 10,000 yen bill sways forlornly. Fuminori's coffee is untouched.
やってられないわね。
Omi says with a sigh, but Koji shakes his head reproachfully.
文則にはもう少し時間が必要なんだと思う。
Well, he could be in a bad mood, who knows.
だってもう3ヶ月よ。なんなのよあれ。付き合ってるこっちが変になりそうよ。
3 months is quite a long time.
俺だってわからない。わかるはずもないと思う。
Yeah, I don't know.
お前だって想像つくか？あんなひどい形で家族全員を奪われて平気でいられるわけないよ。
Maybe there is some sort of a reasoning going on there. It could have happened to anyone. A tractor trailer flipped over on the highway, crushing the Sakisaka family car into twisted scrap. They said it had been difficult to tell the bodies of Fuminori's parents apart. For a while, it had looked as if there was no hope for Fuminori either. It was nothing short of a miracle that he was able to leave the hospital and return to a normal life.
見舞いに行った時なんてもっとひどかったじゃないか。誰が誰かも分からずに怯えて暴れてベッドに縛り付けられて。今はよくあそこまで立ち直ってくれたと思う。
How the fuck does a tractor trailer end up like that? Like, holy shit. That's actually pretty fucked if you ask me.
それにしたって変よ、咲坂くん。私たちのこと見る目つき、あれ何なの？まるでこっちが人間じゃないみたい。
よせ、オミ。
Koji says forcefully, probably less out of empathy for his friend than out of consideration for Yo. While Koji's kindness makes her happy, Yo also knows that she mustn't take advantage of it. Fuminori is the victim, just as Koji said. He's the one who most deserves sympathy. Yo's feelings for Fuminori are her problem and no one else's. She doesn't blame Fuminori for not giving her an answer after she worked up the courage to ask him out. Oh, so Koji isn't really... Okay. In fact, she thinks even more fondly of him for taking the time to consider than she would have had he treated their relationship casually. Apparently, the fact that Fuminori did not reject her was enough to make them a couple in Koji and Omi's eyes. They've had plenty of fun at Yo and Fuminori's expense since. The truth of it, though, is that he still hasn't given her an answer. After revealing her feelings to him, Yo didn't see Fuminori again until a week later, and then she could only stare at his broken body through the window of the ICU. And when he was finally released, after 50 days that seemed an eternity, he was somehow different. She's starting to doubt that he even remembers what she confessed to him before the accident. Now winter is coming, and her feelings hang forgotten in the cold, lonely air. Dr. Tanbo Ryoko has never had a more troublesome patient. Oh, so we're at the doctor's office.
その後の経過はどうですか、咲坂さん。
いえ、別段。これといって問題もなく。
His voice is hard and flat. His words tossed carelessly into the air. It's like he's speaking to himself in an empty room. Ryoko is a surgeon, not a psychiatrist, but even she can sense the thickness of the wall he has erected between himself and the world.
吐き気やめまい、幻聴や幻覚といった体験は？
いえ、何も。
While Sakisaka appears to be looking at Ryoko, his gaze is actually aimed a fraction down and to the side. He's only superficially engaged in the conversation, when in truth, it does not interest him in the slightest. Perfect rejection. Realizing that she can't interview him like this, Ryoko sighs and sets her chart aside.
咲坂さん、あなたが当院で受けた処置は脳神経医学の分野では世界的に最先端の治療でした。そのことはご存知ですよね。
Probably. Treatment of subdural hematoma. I hope that's right. Through the use of micromachines, a procedure available in Japan exclusively here at T University, had been the only way to save Sakisaku Fuminori from a cerebral contusion that should have been fatal.
最先端であるということは、まだまだデータの出揃っていない危険性の伴う治療法だったという意味でもあります。
Well, that can be applied to anyone, though. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have vague medical knowledge, but when you say experimental treatment, okay, well, that causes the risk of unexpected complications. Well, that can be applied for anyone. So.
そうでしょうね。
Sakisaka Fuminori's lips twist slightly in what might be a bitter or mocking smile, but it is gone before Ryoko can discern its meaning.
普通、こんなことを言って脅かすのは医者として問題なんですが。
Yeah, I feel the text speed is a little bit slow. Let's maybe something around here, maybe? Yeah, let's do that. Find a patient.
施術後に重大な脳障害をきたしたケースも報告されているんです。予後の経過には十分に注意しなければなりません。
Hence these weekly checkups. If only he would take them a little more seriously.
先週の MRI はどうでした？
How was last week's MRI? Sakisaka asked abruptly as if to catch Ryoko off guard. MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, is a way for doctors to examine the brain in detail without opening the patient's skull. Surprised by Sakisaka's uncommon technical knowledge, Ryoko recalls his profile.
そういえばあなたも医者の卵だったわね。
Well, if Fuminori is like a college student, then he wants to major, into the medical field. So.
先生が心配しているような脳機能不全は画像診断だけでも十分にわかるはずですよね。何か異常はあったんですか？
いいえ。
There was nothing. Not the slightest hint of abnormal activity. For a procedure with such a low rate of success, the results have been nothing short of miraculous. However, something still bothers Ryoko. He can't shake the feeling that he's hiding something beneath his guarded exterior. Some terrible weight on his soul, perhaps. Guarded exterior. But if it's an inorganic problem, then there's nothing she can do as long as he refuses to explain it.
大丈夫ですよ、先生。現に僕は今こうして病院の外でも何不自由なく生活しています。問題なんてないでしょ。
Yeah, but judging by your own perspective, I feel like there is some sort of like skepticism going on.
ねえ、咲坂さん。こういった難しい手術は予後不断が原則なんです。もう少し私たちを信用してもらえませんと。
そうですよね。僕だって先生方を信用したい。どんな相談にも乗ってもらえるんですか？
ええ、もちろん。
Ryoko answers, smiling to cover up her irritation. Sakisaka asked exactly the same question during last week's visit.
じゃあ、先週の話の続きなんですが、先生、あれから大貝教授については何か分かりましたか？
Where has this topic where has it lead to this topic, I wonder? Unable to answer, Ryoko hardens the mask of her smile. As before, the patient is inquiring about someone whom he has no business knowing.
大貝教授のことは、あなたの治療とは何の関係もないでしょ？
信頼しろと言った矢先に、いきなり隠し事ですか？
Ryoko is used to patients treating her with hostility. Some degree of paranoia is natural when dealing with a person whose mistakes could kill you. In Sakisaka, however, she doesn't see the anxiety that other patients exhibit. His demeanor is perfectly calm, almost like a detective questioning a suspect. Questioning a suspect, I see.
何分、だいぶ前にここを辞められた方ですからね。私個人としても交流があったわけではないし。
I mean, is he the doctor that had performed a surgery on him, or what?
辞めた理由はご存知ない。
Now you're asking like you're the fucking detective.
ええ、おそらく個人的な事情でしょうね。
It was personal. Ryoko answered smoothly, her earlier hesitation gone. Having decided at the outset to lie, she has no trouble doing so with a straight
そ
face.
れにしても、咲坂さん、なぜあなたはそんなに大貝教授にこだわるんです？お知り合いですか？
Acquainted? I'm pretty sure there's more meaning than acquainted.
教授は今失踪中なんです。知ってましたか？
Oh, Oh, okay, so the doctor went missing.
いいえ。
The doctor went missing. What the hell? Ryoko realizes that her answer may have been a little too quick. She should have acted more surprised.
近頃教授の身内の人間と恋にしていましてね。その人から調査を頼まれているんです。
A relative? Ryoko considers this with a frown.
大貝教授に縁者の方はおられないはずですが。
おお、誰から聞きました？
それは噂話に。
She heard it from a nurse. Ryoko replies, remembering that she just claimed to have had no contact with the man.
なるほど。そんなことが噂になる程度には、大貝教授は有名人だったわけですね。
Whoa, nurses gossiping about the missing doctor?
まあ、一風変わった人だったみたいですね。
Go on.
なのに、誰も彼が大学を辞めた理由を知らないと。
So you're gossiping. So the nurses are gossiping about him, but no one is gonna know. No one knows why he left. Medical University. Ryoko falls silent, knowing that this isn't a topic she can brush away with a smile. Sakisaka seems to have finally grasped her mood, however, as his strangely stiff tone softens a little.
先生、僕はどうしても大貝教授に会わなきゃならないんです。彼がいなくなったせいで、行く当てがなくなり困っている子がいるんです。力になってもらえませんか？
Who and why?
それはむしろ警察の領分なんじゃないかしら。
Although she makes it sound like the most obvious thing in the world, the suggestion is actually a gamble. If Dr. Ogai Masahiko or Masahiko? I'm pretty sure I butchered it. Masahiko's disappearance becomes a police matter, then the university will be investigated. Everyone who was involved in the accident will be at risk of exposure. And of course, that includes Ryoko herself. She knows, however, that Sakisaka is unlikely to go to the police. First of all, his excuse is obviously a lie. They already made sure that Ogai had no relatives who might come looking for him, which is why they could bury the truth of what happened. But then, how did Sakisaka, a mere patient, learn about Ogai?
咲坂さん、私の知っている範囲のことは喜んでお教えします。ですが、大貝教授は今年の4月に辞表を出して、以後は何の音信もないんです。
Yeah, how does he know about the doctor? Like, was he the one who performed the surgery on you? Because again, like, if Dr. Ryoko is the surgeon, because I was like, it's either or. I'm just saying some dumb assumptions, you know?
どこか長期の旅行にでも行かれたか、その程度しか想像つきません。
Yeah, I don't know about extended vacation. I wish I had an extended vacation. Holy shit.
そうですか。
Expecting resistance, Ryoko is surprised when Sakisaka backs down. She's still worried about his condition, and the mysterious link between him and Ogai is only making her more uneasy. But as long as he doesn't open up to her, there's nothing she can do. I'm curious, have I got the sound settings right? Well, I had it on headphones, and then I have the the modification for the mic. So I'm pretty sure the when people decide to listen to this video, I'm pretty sure the music is a bit low on people's end. That's the thing though, right? Like the music is either quiet or yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter either way. There's nothing she can do. After a brief pause, Ryoko writes progress good on Sakisaka's chart for today.
咲坂さん、それでは来週の診察ですが、今日と同じ4時でも。
I'm pretty. She got cut off. He's like, nope. I gotta go. Before she can finish, Sakisaka is gone. He's like, whoop. Gotta go. Oh, okay. That's a little bit too grotesque in the TOS standard. Oh shit. Okay. This feels like a bit of an odd place to make a save from here. How do I open up the save menu? Oh, so I can just save. Huh. Okay. So I can delete. What the heck is locking a save mean? Unlock. So I can delete the save, but if I want to make a save right here, then I can do something like that. See, it's funny, like I don't do quick saves because I know there's like a button to quick save, but you know, I'm making a save file, so I can just, you know, call it from here. So yeah, no. That should be it for part 1. So far, I didn't feel that disturbed per se, although I guess if anything, I feel a little bit weirded out. But I'm pretty sure, according to Sakisaka right now, you know, I'm pretty sure his mind and his own perspectives already clouded up with something like this. So I don't know what's going on in all honesty. But you know, maybe I can find out more later. So, excuse me. With that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.